welcome back on the Performance Podcast. Today we have a guest who's extremely inspiring. He is an army veteran. He is the founder of something amazing called the Person First Foundation, which helps a lot of para-athletes. And he is one of the reasons, or probably the reason, why so many injured army veterans are today in the Paralympics. So welcome to the Performance Podcast, Colonel. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. Harini. Thank you so much.
And thank you so very much for taking your time to be on this show. Could you give us a small introduction about yourself?
Well, I was born, brought up in the army. And so I say my journey is not really 32 years, it is 55 years.
Wow.
And I joined the same regiment as my father, the 7th Battalion, the Brigade of Guards. That was December 1991. And while serving in the line of control, it's a professional hazard. We had gone out for an ambush and I stepped on an anti-personnel mine and lost my left leg. I've been using a prosthetic limb since. I was a sportsman before I got injured. I used to play a lot of sports and it was fun. But then after I got injured, for a while, the rehabilitation and the doubt in the mind, can I do it, can I not do it? And well, I started, the bad habits come when you don't have much going. So I was smoking and not just smoking heavy. But somewhere in 2014, I felt that you're just literally gana hai, collar utha ke, dhuan uda ke.
Yeah.
So that is what was happening. Life was going off in smoke. In 2014, I took part in, there was an Airtel marathon happening in Hyderabad. I was posted there at that time. And I decided to take part in the 5 kilometers. I had a normal prosthetic limb. And there were quite a few people with disability there. Our friend Major D.P. Singh was also there with some of his friends. And after that I realized, I think I can do it. This is going to be fun. But having been in the army, I had been running all the time. So I thought, let me do something which is a little more interesting and challenging. So I started doing triathlons. But then of course you know your limit. So I did not go in for the bigger distances straight away. I started with the sprint triathlon, which also is the event in the Paralympic Games. It was a revelation to me that yes, I can really be good at it. And I competed everywhere, in Delhi, in the heated swimming pool, in Chennai, in what was that? I think it was a quarry full of water. I have swum in Goa in the sea.
Wow.
And I had a great time. Thereafter, when I joined the Paralympic movement, I realized that we need more people. We are so many officers, men with disability in the army, and we need some space, some time where these people can, have that feeling of still being able to contribute to the organization and have a meaningful life. So the Army Paralympic Node came into being and there was a policy made by the Army, and let me tell you here that it's a completely inclusive, equitable policy. Anything which is applicable to the Olympic athletes of the Indian Army is applicable to the Paralympic athletes of the Indian Army.
Wow.
There is absolutely no difference in the incentives, nothing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's a one-of-a-kind thing, and the government of India has also now brought in policies which are equitable and inclusive. Having served 32 years, and having seen the ecosystem, I realized that there are a large number of children with disability in the society who are not really getting an opportunity to do something with their lives. See, there is Go Sports and there is OGQ, and all these organizations are doing a fantastic job of helping the athletes with their funding needs and all, you name it, and they support. But then to reach a level wherein a Go Sport will even look at you, how does that athlete, the grassroots level athlete, reach there? So that is what prompted me to incorporate the Person First Foundation, and it is, as I call it, the foundation of the empowered.
Wow.
Because any person with disability who decides to do something with their life is already an empowered person.
Absolutely.
And the Person First, the name itself, when we talk of disability, the normal habit is he's a disabled person. So people bring the medical condition before the person, which is not the right way of saying it.
Of course.
See, it is the person who happens to have a medical condition. So person first, disability next. So that is our Person First.
That is actually a very beautiful perspective to see that from. Rewinding a little, if we go back to your childhood, where would you say was the very first sporting moment which made an impact on your life?
See, when I was growing up, we stayed in cantonments, and while I was just about 6 years old, we had one of those inter-formation competitions happening. Football was going on, and it was right next to my house. So as a 6-year-old, for 10-15 days, I sat and watched that. And as luck would have it, my father got posted to another place where athletics was a big thing. So that is what got me into it. And the heavens have been kind and given me the ability to learn a sport. When it comes to academics, my father was very clear. 60%.
Okay.
See, हमारे ज़माने में फर्स्ट डिवीजन बहुत होती थी. ठीक है. Nowadays 99 is less, but for us 60.1 you were champ. So I ensured that I got that, and I just played and I played and I played.
I love the passion with which you just said how you played. So again, coming back to being a triathlete, you just spoke about how you were a smoker as well. So running is something that is very difficult for someone who smokes. Even normal running is very difficult. So overcoming those challenges and bringing that endurance that is required for doing a triathlon, how did you?
I was the OIC of the Army Paralympic node at that time, and as we say in the army, you lead from the front and you lead with an example. And I had to be doing something wherein I could tell the men, okay, somebody comes to you and says, I can't train today. I said, why? And when he tells me this is happening, I said, I've been there, done that, and I am doing it with you every day. So I would take the little extra effort at that time, and the events I was doing was 5 kilometers of running, 800 to 1 kilometer of swimming, and 20 kilometers cycling. So I would run about 10 kilometers and swim about 4 to 5 kilometers, cycle 20 to 30 kilometers. It's an endurance sport. And yes, it was very difficult in the beginning, and as I like to joke and say, my tongue used to clean my shoes.
Oh, wow.
Because you are a smoker, your tongue, you are panting, you are literally out of breath. But then the hard work worked, and the whole reason why I was doing it was the motivation.
I think that's just beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps listening to this. And taking that a little more forward, since you've been there, you would have faced so many challenges in your journey as an athlete. So where do you think the difference lies from then to now, what para-athletes are facing?
The biggest difference between then and now is the availability of sports science facilities. Then your coach and your masseur working, whatever they knew was gospel. As the sport has progressed, as the facilities have progressed, and knowledge has progressed, and most importantly, acceptance. You are a professional in the field, you will have come across coaches who say, हमसे ज़्यादा कौन जानता है athlete?
Of course.
So they don't realize that he is a professional in what he does, but then there are people who can help him with his work, bring out the best that athlete can do. And I think that is the biggest difference in 15 years hence and today. The availability of sports science and acceptance of sports science by the traditional system of coaching.
Makes sense. And being an endurance athlete and being an endurance para athlete is heavily reliant on mental resilience. So would you say like a greater part of it came from your army training?
Yes, a large part of it was from my training, but I would like to add here that the mental resilience which we are talking about is not exclusive to the personnel in the army. Having interacted with so many para athletes, very young and various ages, you have Sheetal. She doesn't have arms, but she is a medalist. So, and it's not happened yesterday. It is just because she has that resilience and mental capacity. So it's not an exclusive preserve of the armed forces, but an athlete guided in the right way by the right people can develop tremendous amount of mental resilience, and it really brings dividends in the field.
So we spoke about the past to today. So if you want to see from today in the next 10 years what happens to parasport in India, where would you say this is my vision, this is what I want?
When it comes to parasports and when people say what would you like to see happening in India, I would like to say that if a parasports person decides to enter a sports facility, he should be able to. Without thinking about, will I be able to climb these steps? Will my wheelchair reach there? Does this place have a washroom which is accessible to me?
Correct.
That is the base level which I would like to see. And of course, the way the parasports are developing in our country, the kind of intensity with which they are developing, I am hoping to see, like this time in Paris we had 29 medals, and Los Angeles has a target of about 35 plus. I am hoping that in the next 10 years we will be in the top 3 in the medalist list.
Definitely, touch wood. Yes. And for the last question, supposing there is a young, maybe a para athlete in the making or someone who's considering taking up sports, what is a message that you want to give them?
Be realistic. Only yesterday I was speaking to this young man, fantastically fit, 22 years old, a through knee amputee who wants to be a track athlete. The first question I ask when these young children talk to me is, what's the financial viability? Where do you plan to get the money? Because parasports, apart from all the nutrition and other things which are required for every athlete, parasports require specialized limbs and they are very expensive.
Yes.
Firstly, please be realistic about what you can achieve, how you are going to get your funding, and have a realistic target. Don't be in a hurry. No athlete, yes, there are athletes who have won medals in their very first year. We have Anita and Narayan in our para rowing, as an example. She started rowing, she maybe came to know about rowing in February 23. First time she sat in a boat was March 23. First time she rowed with a partner was sometime in April. And then she was competing in the World Championship in September. And followed by the Asian Para Games, and she's a silver medalist in the Asian Para Games. When we went to Paris Paralympic Games, people said, what are you talking about, 18 months? I said, yeah, 18 months. And you are here? But these are exceptions.
True.
A lot of hard work and a bit of luck. The team clicked and things worked at the right time. But you need to have a plan, you need to be patient. Most importantly, patient with your injuries. As a para-athlete, small niggling things will come up, you will ignore it. Next thing you know is you're not going to be wearing that limb for the next 15 days and your training, complete build-up which has been done comes down. So be honest with yourself, be honest with your coach. That is what I would like to tell them.
That's very realistic advice, and thank you so much, sir, for coming on our podcast. And these, to all our viewers, these have been tidbits, pearls of wisdom that we've gotten along with realistic, real stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
Dr. Harini.
Thank you.